The beauty of the Como landscape has been known since ancient times. The deep blue water of Como Lake, the large mountains submerging their slopes, creating a continuous flow of inlets and projections. The mild climate, the nestling of narrow houses around the slender bell tower, the small lanes emptying out on silent wet docks, the splendid villas surrounded by century-old parks, the cypress thickets gathered around small, isolated churches, the olive trees cultivated on terraced land almost suspended on the mountain sides. These are the characteristic features that make up the Como province landscape. Como, the chief town, is a city of austere beauty, a legacy of its more than 2,000 years of age. The city was built in 59 AD under the patronage of Caesar. The epical walls and towers from the period of the medieval commune, as well as the network of Roman fortification roads, present themselves as symbols of the outpost of the cultural and artistic traits of Lombardy. High above the city, like a stone sentinel, the Baradello Tower is a reminder of the bloody rivalry with Milan. During that time, the inhabitants of Como sided with Barbarossa as faithful allies in the battle against the Milanese. Como's history is full of episodes and testimonies of an illustrious past from an archaeological viewpoint, as well as its civilian and religious architecture. An example is the stately cathedral, which owes its beauty to the genius of the master builders from Como. The Como Cathedral, started in 1396 next to the Broletto Towers, mark the passage from a Gothic style to the Renaissance spatiality. The Archaeological Museum and the Giuseppe Garibaldi Risorgimento Museum are located in the Giovio and Olginati buildings. They have large collections of importance and not just of local interest, treasures from the Bronze Age and the First Iron Age, testimonies of the Egyptian culture, mosaics, Roman sculptures, and numerous antiques from the Risorgimento and the World Wars. Built in 1927, the Tempio Voltiano contains exhibits of glorious mementos of the great physicist and scientist from Como, Alessandro Volta, including the famous battery. Our lake route continues towards the Villa Olmo. The villa is neoclassic and was commissioned by Marquis Innocenzo Odiscalchi and was built on property from the 17th century known as Del Olmo because of a centuries-old tree no longer existing. Today the villa is surrounded by a large public park and is town property. Inside the villa are regularly held exhibits, manifestations, conventions, and meetings. Como in the past had a particular economical growth due to the textile industry. Como silk, famous throughout the world, even today, remains one of the city's strong points. At nightfall, Como offers brilliant and intensely beautiful views. The Como territory is characterized by its pleasant and romantic lake, as well as its natural beauty that attracts tourists from all the world. Como Lake has been praised by famous writers and is chosen as a destination for pleasurable holidays for artists, politicians, and famous people. A mild climate, healthy air, a relaxing environment, and a one-of-a-kind landscape. A lake that over time has kept its charm intact. A scene of water and luxuriant shores, interrupted here and there by valleys and mountains that create an unmistakable profile. Along its banks, magnificent villas stand in line one after another, but only from the lake can be captured the overwhelming beauty of the gardens hidden behind gates and large hedges. Hollywood film stars and rock stars have not been able to resist the fascination of this place, marking Lake Como their home or the preferred destination for a tranquil refuge. Cernobbio is a famous holiday resort. It is 5 kilometers from the city and is connected by ferry boat and bus service. It offers an ideal place for a holiday framed by beauty and tranquility. 7,000 square meters of modern exhibition space, a convention center of over 1,000 seats, numerous representation rooms, all immersed in a centuries-old park on the shores of Como Lake, make the International Center for Congresses and Expositions, Villa Erba, a unique and prestigious setting. At Cernobbio, one can admire the famous Grand Hotel Villa d'Este. This beautiful villa has a long history. Already at the beginning of the 1600s, its widespread and luxurious gardens were praised. The magnificent Balbianello Point is a wooded triangle stretching out into the lake. On this point can be found the scenographic villa having the same name, which was chosen by the director George Lucas as the location for the second episode of the Star Wars cinema saga. The Bellagio Promontory conjured up memories in the hearts of everlasting writers such as Stendhal and Flaubert. Bellagio is found at the extreme point of the region that divides Como Lake into two forks. Today, the Pearl of Como has conserved its great elegant architectural and town planning, enriching it with a modern tourist organization. In this stretch of the lake, Carlotta Villa, a 16th century jewel, particularly stands out. In spring, its gardens offer a wonderful exhibition of blooming rhododendrons and azaleas. This historical residence, that is truly a museum, also houses numerous Canova sculptures. The town of Minaggio, it had already become a holiday resort in the first years of the 1800s, and it was during that period that many of its large hotels and magnificent villas were built. It is an ideal starting point thanks to its central position between the lake and mountains for any types of excursion. In its historical center can be found many artistical inheritances. Minaggio's cherry on top is its promenade, which offers a unique view of the center of the lake. Porlezza is a charming and friendly village with tourist accommodations. It is the head of the northeast branch of Lake Lugano at 282 meters above sea level. Porlezza's name is written in the Register of Art History. It was in fact the homeland of many families of sculptors and architects. It has been written that Campione d'Italia, a small city of Lombardy, inserted in the Swiss Confederation, is like an air bubble in a sheet of glass. an elegant way to describe the singularity of this place of vacation and entertainment. Famous for its gambling house, which was created in 1917 during the world conflict and then institutionalized in the 1930s. Over the years, this has become an important economical source of the city, but also a place of cultural and world events. It has also hosted VIPs and intellectuals, international stars, fashion shows, and concerts. Many cultural, religious, artistic, as well as sport and enogastronomic itineraries stand out, framed by the privileged landscape. It is a territory rich in diverse landscapes of awesome colors and atmospheres, which is suitable for diversified sportive activities. The upper part of the lake has been consecrated as the natural homeland to windsurf, sailing, and water skiing. Going along the banks of Lake Como, we arrive at the Conca dell'Olio, olive oil basin, where delicious olive oil is produced. Here, olive trees thrive like in all of the lake's middle area. Como Province presents a gastronomic picture that blends the lake and mountains, the Mediterranean and the Alps, in such a way that is difficult to find elsewhere. The cuisine counts among itself all the specialties from the Lombard traditions, using widely risotto, rice, and polenta, cornmeal. Also meat, salumi, cheeses, fish, and wine. These are places where nature and taste interweave. Along the imaginary line between Como and Lecco, in the heart of the Upper Brianza, following one after the other, are the small lakes Montorfano, Alserio, Pusiano, and Segrino. It is the established opinion among geologists that the lakes were formed by the withdrawing of the ice after the last of the three ice ages, during the Quaternary period, that is, in an age between 1 million and 10,000 years ago. From the mountains surrounding Lake Como can be enjoyed the spectacular panorama of the Alps. They are the desired destination for all nature lovers and the ideal place for hiking, climbing, and mountain biking. Our journey through the thousands of reflections of a lake finishes on the banks of the enchanting Piano Lake. Natural itineraries represent the best union between sky, land, and water, giving to us magic scenery.